You leave everything behind and rebuild your life under a name that isn't yours. New city, new job, new version of yourself with no debt attached to it. For a while, it actually works. Here's the one mistake that eventually gives you away. Building a new identity from scratch is harder than people assume, mostly because modern life wasn't designed to let you start from zero. Every new identity needs a credit history, and credit histories don't get created. They get built slowly through accounts, payments, and time, which means your first year under a new name looks financially suspicious by default, whether you're hiding something or not. You use a thin file identity strategy, building credit slowly, paying everything on time, staying deliberately unremarkable. For a while, it works exactly as planned. Landlords approve you. Employers run background checks that come back clean because the name itself has no criminal history attached to it yet. Within the first year, you make the mistake almost everyone makes eventually. You apply for something that requires a deeper verification than a landlord or a retail employer ever bothers with. A mortgage, a security clearance, a professional license, or a position that requires fingerprinting. These processes cross-reference identity information against federal databases that casual background checks never touch. Here's the part almost nobody accounts for. Fingerprints and biometric data don't care what name you're using. The moment your prints get scanned for any reason, an arrest for something unrelated, a job requiring clearance, even certain licensing applications, they get checked against every set on file, and a match to your real identity doesn't require anyone to be looking for you specifically. It happens automatically, as a matter of routine processing. You keep in touch with one person from your old life, convinced a single phone call couldn't possibly matter. Every call, every message, every account you log into from a new device leaves a data trail that connects your new identity to your old one, not through anything dramatic, but through the mundane fact that phones and IP addresses don't reset who you are just because your name did. By month 18, you apply for a professional certification in your new field, one that requires a background check deeper than anything you've gone through since disappearing. The certifying body doesn't just check your new name. Modern verification systems cross-reference biometric and identity markers that exist independently of whatever name is currently attached to them. Your new employer, without realizing it, submits your information for a routine tax filing that gets cross-checked against a social security number already associated with a different legal name. The mismatch doesn't trigger sirens. It generates a quiet administrative flag that sits in a system until someone eventually looks at the file it's attached to. Here's what almost nobody accounts for going in. Building a new identity doesn't erase the old one. It just creates a second file that eventually has to intersect with systems the first file was already connected to: taxes, licensing, credit, biometrics, because none of those systems were built assuming a person might legally exist twice. By month 20, an investigator connects the two identities not through a dramatic discovery, but through routine data matching that flags any name change pattern inconsistent with a legal one. No court order, no formal documentation, just a new social security number application and a life that started over on a specific date with no explanation attached to it. The new life you built, the job, the apartment, the credit history you worked 18 months to establish, gets unwound the moment your real name resurfaces in the file. Everything built under the new identity becomes evidence of the fraud used to build it, and starting over now happens with a fraud charge attached instead of just a debt. So you end up back where you started, owing the original debt, facing new charges for identity fraud, and having spent 18 months building a life that dissolved the moment one system finally talked to another. The version of you that disappeared didn't actually get a second chance. He just delayed the reckoning long enough to make it more expensive. The system was never trying to catch someone starting over. Starting over is legal, and people do it honestly every single day. It was only ever waiting for the moment starting over required a new name instead of just a new city. If this changed how you think about what getting away with it actually looks like underneath the surface, that's exactly what this channel exists to do. The real math hiding beneath the systems you deal with every day. Explain the way nobody bothers to explain it. Like and subscribe for the next one.